Welcome to the subject software engineering. Today's topic is interface analysis. Point number 1. The principle of all software engineering process model is you better understand the problem before you attempt to design a solution. Students, when you are developing user interface design, you should always analyze the situation and understand the problem before taking to solving the problem. Point number 2. In case of user interface designing, understanding the problem means understanding the following. 1. The end users, that is the people who will interact with the system through interface, and that is user analysis. Second, the task that end users must perform to do their work, it is task analysis and modeling. Third, the content that is prepared and presented as a part of interface, this part is analysis of display content. Fourth, the environment in which these tasks will be conducted, that is analysis of the work environment. First, we'll consider user analysis. User analysis defines the profiles of various end users and applies information gathered from a variety of business and technical sources. Point number 2. Each user has a mental image or perception of what the software that may be vastly different from the software engineers design a model. Point number 3. The only way that a designer can get the mental image and the design model to converge is to work to understand the users themselves as well as how these people will use the system. To carry out user analysis, the information can be collected from various sources such as user interviews. It is the most direct approach. Interviews involve representative from software team who meet the end users to better understand their needs, motivation, work culture, etc. This can be accomplished in one-to-one meetings. User analysis raises many questions. That is, are users trained professionals, technicians, clerical or manufacturing workers? Second, what level of formal education does the average user have? Third, are the users capable of learning from written materials or have they expressed a desire for classroom training? Are users expert typist or keyboard phobic? What is the age range of the users community? Will the users be represented predominantly by one gender? How are users compensated for the work they perform? Do users work normal office hours or do they work until the job is done? Is the software to be integral part of the work users do or will it be used only occasionally? What is the primary spoken language among users? What are the consequences if the user make a mistake using system? Are users experts in the subject matter that is addressed by the system? Do users want to know about technology that sits behind the interface? All these questions should be taken into consideration. User analysis. Once these questions are answered, you will know who the end users are, what is likely to motivate and please them, how they can be grouped into different user classes or profiles. Fourth, what their mental models of the system are. And fifth, how the user interface must be characterized to meet their needs. Next is task analysis and modeling. The goal of task analysis is to answer the following questions. What work will the user perform in specific circumstances? Second, what task and subtask will be performed as the user does the work? Third, what specific problem domain objects will the user manipulate as work is performed? Fourth, what is the sequence of work task, that is the workflow? And fifth, what is the hierarchy of task? Techniques used to carry out task analysis, modeling and to answer the questions are: 1. Technique is use cases. The question answered is: what work will the user perform in specific circumstances? Second technique, task elaboration. What task and subtask will be performed as the user does the work? Third, object elaboration technique. What specific problem domain objects will the user manipulate as the work is performed? Fourth technique, workflow analysis. What is the sequence of work task, that is the workflow? And fifth, hierarchical representation. The question answered is: what is the hierarchy of the task? So you have to use various techniques to get answers to the various questions. So various techniques are use cases, task elaboration, object elaboration, workflow analysis and hierarchical representation. The third subtask in analysis is analysis of display content. Point number 1. The user task identified in the previous section, that is in the analysis, lead to presentation of variety of different types of content. Second, for modern applications, display contents can range from character-based reports, for example, a spreadsheet, graphical displays, for example, histogram, 3D model, a picture of a person, or specialized information, for example, audio or video files. So, display contents can be of any type. It can be graphical, it can be report, or it can be audio or video files. Point number 3. The analysis modeling techniques discussed in chapter 8 identify the output data objects that are produced by an application. Questions asked and answered in analysis of display content are different types of data assigned to consistent geographical location on the screen? For example, photo always appear in the upper right hand corner. Second, can the user customize the screen location for content? Third, is proper on-screen identification assigned to all content? Fourth, if a large report is to be presented, how should it be partitioned for ease of understanding? Next, will mechanism be available for moving directly to summary information for large collection of the data? Next, will graphical output be scaled to fit within the bounds of the display devices that is used? How will color be used to enhance understanding? And last question to be answered is, how will error message and warning be presented to the user? So these are the various questions, and answers should be found to these questions when you are carrying out analysis of display content. Fourth subtask is analysis of the work environment. Point number 1. So here we study the work environment under which user is working. Point number 1. The work environment in which user carries out various activities influence the user interface design. Point number 2. People do not perform their work in isolation. They are influenced by the activity around them. The physical characteristics of the workplace, the type of equipment they are using, and the work relationship they have with the other people. All these are very important when you are designing user interface. Third point, if the user interface does not fit into environment, it may be frustrating to use. Fourth point, in some applications, the user interface for a computer-based system is placed in a user-friendly location. For example, proper lighting is there, good display of height, easy keyboard access. All these are also very important. Point number 5. But in others, for example, factory floor or any aeroplane cockpit, lighting may be suboptimal, noise may be a factor, a keyboard or mouse may not be an option, display placement may be less than ideal. So there could be some easy work environment, or in other case work environment could be difficult to work. Point number 6. The interface designer may be constrained by the factors that mitigate against ease of use. So all these 4 subtasks are to be considered when you carry out analysis of user interface. Students, okay, please study this. If you got any doubt, please give me a call. Thank you.